For the past 9 months or so, I have been operating at a much higher level than average, and much higher than most of my peers. How do I do it? 3 ways. 1. New habits. 2. Core motivation. 3. Accountability. So how does someone who naturally wants to put things off do so much? By creating new habits. New habits. I didn't start off doing all of that at once. I slowly added. One thing I did do is go to work every day. That has been a habit of mine ever since I was 16. So in a sense, I had a head start. I know some people don't have jobs, but that doesn't mean you can get into a habit of working and improving every day. The great thing about having a job is they make you come in. If you don't come in, then you don't get paid. If you don't get paid, you don't have the money to live. This makes it a great motivation for me and speaks to one of the other principles. Accountability. Core motivation. This requires a bit of soul searching, and when it comes to that, I can't really help too much. I consider myself lucky that I have figured out exactly what I want to do with my life. Most of my peers have not. One thing that contributed to that epiphany was figuring out what really drives me. Was it money, power, creativity, laziness, love, sex? None of the above for me. My core motivation is helping people, as cliche as that sounds. There are a few caveats for me. I want to be able to help people, be creative, make a decent income, and have control of my own schedule. Those accessories helped narrow down my career choices. If I really just wanted to help people, I could go volunteer at some nonprofit making pennies. But I would rather not. Figuring out my core motivation has given me strength and drive when I need to start a new habit, or if I run into problems or setbacks during the course of executing my plans. I really make an effort to visual the life I want and the life I am creating. And I know that someday I will have that life. Accountability. As I said, I am a natural procrastinator. One thing I do have going for me, though, is honor. I am an honorable bastard, and I hate being shamed. I use this to my advantage, and I have surrounded myself with people that hold me accountable for my actions. Some of these are mentors, friends, parents, consultants, and teachers. Some days I really don't want to practice my viola, but I know that I have a lesson on Friday, so I better practice, otherwise it will be embarrassing for me to fumble through a song while my teacher stands by and listens. If I get bad grades at school, then I will be letting down the people that have granted me a partial scholarship to take these classes. If I don't accomplish the goals I set forth for my website, then my business consultant will be asking me hard questions and I won't have the answers. Some people suggest you tell your goals to the whole world. This never really made sense to me. People on the internet don't look me in the eye when I tell them I failed, but my teachers, mentors, friends do. I have found it much more effective to have real-life contacts than anything online. All of that to say, how can you be productive if you're a lazy trailer trash college flunkout like me? I've read blog posts and articles in popular magazines about the 10 habits of productive people. How to reorganize your life. None of it works and the tips seem generic or vapid. Here are a couple of things that you must do for my strategy to work. You have to care what other people think about you. I was not born with the internal drive to feel great because I ran 10 miles in the morning. I care that you think I'm that person, that you can trust me, that you tell others you can trust me. You have to want to be successful. You said productive and organized, and I am aware of the distinction. For me, being productive and organized are just tools I use to be successful. Now, the strategy. Force yourself to be those things by volunteering for every work-related task and by overpromising deadlines. This where my two caveats above come into play. You have to care that people see you get a task done ahead of time, even on short notice. You have to care that people see you as the go-to person. You have to want more than where you are in life. There's absolutely no point in being more organized and productive if you don't want more out of your life. The status quo requires no change. You will start out stressed to the max because you have so many things to do and you're doing it to yourself. Well, surprise, much like studying is a skill, productivity is a skill that just isn't taught. You will be forced to make the best use of your time and how to organize your tasks. Follow-ups for those tasks. Anything else? Just to stay above water. It sounds very stupid or like I'm oversimplifying, but it's a feedback loop. The more you volunteer and the more you succeed, the more responsibility is likely to be put on your shoulders. This has its negative associations, but we're not discussing that here. We're discussing how this will force you to be productive in order to save face with your peers. And that's it. You will need to put into practice a productive and organized regime so that others do not see you fail at the things you promised you could do. Conclusion. I do think that we should be studying people that are actively achieving and figuring out what they are doing right. It's similar to the idea in the psychology of studying how healthy people are that way rather than studying sick people and figuring out how to make them healthy. Pick a model that is working, and then form yourself to that. It makes things so much easier. You will notice that I didn't include anything about to-do lists, productivity apps, or mind hacks that help me increase my effectiveness. My method of doing things changes and flows depending on my life. And I think concerning yourself with the minutiae like that just bogs you down and makes you feel productive when you really are just being busy.